Hey guys, welcome back. It is Jeff Master Flash. This is Breaking Point Part 3. So, we are at Silverstone. As you can see, the boy, Aiden Jackson, who is not Casper Ackerman's best mate at the moment, had a puncher on lap 6. As you can see, that right-hand side tyre is deflated. He's got to come into the pits, get the tyres changed. Hopefully he's not damaged the floor of the car too much, and see what he can do with the remaining laps available to him. So, this is part 3, as I just said. So we've got part 3, or chapter 4, chapter 5, I think. We are in Monza after this one, and the relationship between the guys, Ackerman and Jackson, gets very, very, very strained. As I've said, I think I've got a bit of a fan theory about this. I believe that they've taken the story from maybe Leclerc-Vettel scenario, and you will see it as the full episode gets on. But anyway, that's enough about that. As you see, I rejoined the track just in front of Magnussen and just on P17, and yeah, it is what it is. We know last year the dramas that Hamilton suffered with punches and blowouts, and I'm recording this on Saturday after the sprint race, and if you saw the sprint race at all, you'll see that both Verstappen and Hamilton suffered severe blistering on both tyres, and Hamilton was doing all he could. I'm wondering if this is going to come into play tomorrow during the Grand Prix. Hoping that come the Grand Prix tomorrow we'll have a very good race, but it is what it is. Didn't get DRS on Latifi, but he is very slow, and I'm going to be able to breeze past him very, very well. But yeah, going back to this Breaking Point, I absolutely am in love with it. I've got as far as I want to go at the moment, but I will keep going. Yeah, just crazy. And like I said, I wonder if the developers have taken a bit of the Leclerc-Vettel dynamic at Ferrari back in the day. But yeah, regardless of that, it is what it is, and the story does get a little bit heated. But it is what it is. Right now, I'm trying to hunt down the pack. I should have definitely changed the difficulty level, and will do going forward, as unfortunately it does get a little bit too easy, as I've just put in a purple sector 1. As you can see, the cars in front are battling, and it's good now when the AI battles, they do slow each other down, so it does give you an opportunity, just like it would if you was in league racing. But loving it, really am loving it. As I'm eyeing up Danny Rick, hit the overtake, and I was going to try and get in before he goes into Maggots and Beckett's, as he just hit the anchors, and there was no way I could avoid that. It's a good job that I don't think damage is on, or I think damage is on reduced, as he completely slammed on the brakes, and I just couldn't react. He proper brake checked me, which was bizarre. What I have found is, though, that when you're right behind the AI and they're going into a corner, they do still tend to slam on the brakes, which is a bit bizarre because you can't really react. But anyway, next up is a Vettel 2.3 in front, as I crossed the line and do a 30.3. Probably would have be able to gone a little bit faster. Probably would have done a 29.9, something like that, if Ricardo hadn't brake checked me throughout Maggots and Beckett's. But yeah, nevertheless, there's my teammate. Teammate is in front. He's going very, very slowly as I get a snap of oversteer. Still a tricky traction zone, that part there, out of, was it turn 3? Turn 1, turn 2, I think. But anyway, I'm going to round the outside of him, and I'm going to look at Vettel to see if I can go around the outside. But see how slow they go, and he just turns in. But I'm just muscling him out of the way, just trying to get past and seeing how far I can get. I definitely do not want to finish behind Evan Butler, and I don't believe I do. But what do you guys think of it? What do you guys think of everything that's going on with the game? The more and more I've played the game, not gonna lie, the more and more bugs I've found. It's a shame, as the game developers, they seem to take your money and run. This is the third game now in 9 months that I've purchased, with the first one being Assetto Corsa. Oh, sorry, 12 months. Assetto Corsa Competizione is 1 year old, I think. But yeah, since then I've bought Assetto Corsa Competizione, I've bought Cyberpunk, and I have bought this. Cyberpunk wasn't cheap, Assetto Corsa wasn't cheap, and I spent £75 on the deluxe version of this, and like many others out there, you get to try and play it, and online is broken. The only thing that seems to work, although it has glitches with audio, it cuts out a lot, and you will see at the end of this race my computer completely shut down, hence the reason why you won't see the graphic, the celebration graphic at the end of the race for this video. But yeah, it still, that's besides the point. It's still, even France last episode, we had all the red dots all over the screen, and they just gradually got worse and worse and worse as I absolutely send one on Devon Butler. But needless to say, even though with all the bugs and the kind of disappointment on one hand, we get all the greatness, all the goodness that is an F1 game, and I really do enjoy F1. I love F1 game and real life, as I do put a middle sector in, and I'm 2.1, or I'm 2 and a bit tenths up through sector 2. So yeah, I would have done a 29 going forward if I wasn't interrupted by Danny Rick. But it is what it is. But yeah. You guys let me know what you think. I'm enjoying it. I really am. Still going to keep on enjoying it. I think when Codemasters finally gets around to patching it, I think this will be a great game. As I've said in previous episodes, I do know that they are going to make the cars more realistic to life. As right now, I think for co-op, I believe that the only decent track for co-op at the moment is Bahrain. Apart from that, the AI seems extremely overpowered. And also, when you are starting a new My Team career mode, it does take an extremely long time to get your car anywhere near where you can challenge. As I try to send the same move on Sainz as I did on Butler, and I'm eyeing up Leclerc next. But with only 2 and a bit laps to go, I'm not going to catch Ocon, who is 8.6 out in front, as the dirty air almost caught me out there as I send it around Leclerc. But as you can see, I'm half a second up then going through Magnussen Beckett's. And that was just the fact that I had clear air until I came to Sainz, and Sainz didn't cause me no problem at all. I do obviously take too much curve going through the last chicane and into the back straight, but I did eventually do a 29.95 and did lose 2 and a bit tenths. With that, it would have been an even better lap. But yeah, I'm happy. It's lap 12. And yeah, so far so good. But guys, let me know what you think of Breaking Point. Really love to hear what you got to say. Really love what you got to say on the game, full stop, to be honest, as I love doing this. Today's Saturday. Tomorrow I won't be doing anything. I've got a social race with my league BRS. Monday I've got a social race with WOR. So 2 nights, and I will try and get a live stream in probably for Tuesday this coming week, but we will have to see, as everything's busy. As at the now, it is time to get everything back in for league racing, which I am really looking forward to. But guys, wherever you are in the world today, hope you're good, hope you're well, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Well, they've done a brilliant job, I must say, under some intense pressure to take a well-earned victory here at the British Grand Prix. What a race for young Aiden Jackson. If he can keep this up, he's got a long, promising career in front of him.
Absolutely. He'd have been gutted about that puncture. Imagine what kind of challenge he'd have been able to make without it. You've got to give it to him, though. He gritted his teeth and pulled it back. Great driving.
Now whisper it quietly, but things seem to be on the up for Racing Point's Aiden Jackson. One to watch. So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot. A well-earned victory for Mercedes.
I'm not sure if it's something to do with the energy storage, but I'm losing power on the straights.
Right. And you said the acceleration was okay? We'll take a look at it.
And how are we today, chaps? Everything running smoothly, I hope.
All right, Brian. Yeah, we're just going through a few last-minute tweaks.
Ah, that's what I like to see. With dedication like that, maybe you'll be able to get us back a few more of those points, eh?
Yeah, I'll try.
Actually, Aiden, I'm glad I've caught up with you. Thought you might like to know. I had a call this morning from Toto Wolff. Mentioned you directly.
Oh.
I think they're sniffing around for next season. You're being watched.
So, no pressure then?
So, what's the problem with the car?
I'm losing power on the straights. It's not a massive issue. I'm sure we can deal with it.
Yeah, theoretically, do we have time to install the Spec 2 unit before the race?
Yes, boss.
And Casper's reporting no problems?
No.
Okay, let's do it. Put the Spec 2 in Aiden's, would you?
Well, that would sort it. I mean, if you're sure.
Of course. You could do with a little boost. A little boost. Besides, anything for our star driver. Casper, how are you today? Feeling good about the race?
Welcome to Monza, where the crowd are ready for today's action. And we hope you're ready to see the world's best drivers fighting it out for that #1 spot. It's time for the Italian Grand Prix. With top speeds reaching 215 miles per hour, only a few places can challenge Monza's crown as the fastest circuit in F1. Hard braking zones going into the 3 chicanes make up the majority of the 11 corners on this 3.6-mile circuit. And just in case the slipstream wasn't enough, 2 DRS zones will help encourage some closer action. Here we are then, Monza, the 90th time this event has been held. So a special year for F1 fans, particularly the Italians, who are rightly proud of this event and its heritage.
Yeah, it always feels a bit special here, doesn't it, Crofty? Hamilton holds the joint record with Schumacher for number of wins here at 5 apiece, but could snatch it outright today with a 6.
Nearly 100 years of history here, so let's see what this year holds in store for the Italian Grand Prix. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Ackermann, Carlos Sainz, and Kvyat, Norris, Ricciardo, Gasly, and Alexander Albon, Ocon, Leclerc, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Butler, Vettel, Grosjean, George Russell, and Aiden Jackson, Magnussen, and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway. Well, quite the rivalry forming between the rookie Aiden Jackson and his veteran teammate Casper Ackermann.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of when Hamilton signed for McLaren back in 2007, and we all know how that one ended. Alonso returned to Red...
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. Well, you couldn't have asked for a better result today. Congratulations, Aiden. Top spot on the podium. How are you feeling?
What a day. I can't believe it. It's the best possible result. I'm gonna enjoy this moment, but not run away with myself. I've got to try and keep my focus for the next race. But, you know, first place.
A big talking point, irrespective of today's results, is how you've improved overall throughout the season. What would you say to that?
I couldn't do it without the support of the team. They've been incredible. I'm feeling looked after, and I couldn't ask for more. So any improvements are thanks to them.
It's funny you should mention the team as a whole. Can you give us an update? How is the current relationship between you and Casper Ackermann?
Look, driver relationships are always going to be tricky. Individually, you're always pushing yourselves, and that can cause friction. I can't let anything like that worry me. Besides, we're fine.
Thank you for your time.